Valley memories. Over the years of being at Pleasant Valley, I've gone on some very intriguing field trips, learned about and hatched some fascinating animals and insects, and went on great adventures with my friends at Pleasant Valley. On the first day of school, I remember feeling worried and scared since, to me, it was my first real day of school. But after going into the classroom and meeting Ms. Naset, I realized it would be a fun and exciting year. I remember learning my ABCs along with the Pledge of Allegiance, which my sister scared me about by saying that if I didn't know it right away, I'd have really bad luck. During about the middle of the year, around Thanksgiving, we covered our hands in paint and high-fived a piece of paper to make a hand turkey. I remember dripping brown paint all over my clothes and on the table. Kindergarten flew by as if it was only a week. When first grade came along, I was excited to have real desks and a new class, but I didn't imagine how much fun it would actually be. In the first week, I started reading. I had never known before how much fun it was to open up a book and get lost in the story, even if all I was reading was Henry Mudge. Every week, Miss Yates would pick a stick from the jar, and that person took home a Curious George monkey. He came with a notebook the student had to fill out. In the notebook, the student would fill in all the adventures of George. Miss Yates would pick another name, and they got to be the VIP. The VIP had to make a collection of pictures and share each picture's story with the class. It was cool to be the very important person, and first grade is what introduced me to what it was like to be in elementary school. In second grade, I realized how to act and how things worked in elementary school. Second grade was the year we hatched the cute baby chicks. We had to keep the chicks in the incubator most of the time we had them, so it was torture. But when the chicks finally hatched, it was completely worth the wait. They were basically moving fur balls. Everything on their bodies was just developing. Their wings were too small for their bodies, they could barely walk, they couldn't see, and they wouldn't rest for a second. During the middle of the year, we started working on our plays. I don't remember what mine was, but I remember having a lot of fun. At the end of the year, we got caterpillars. It was so cool to watch them go through the stages of making a cocoon and become butterflies. When they did become butterflies, we released them outside. But immediately, crows came and ate half of them. So it was a little traumatizing. Second grade was full of learning. Third grade was what I consider one of my best years. Right off the bat, we learned about multiplication, and I loved it. It was so much easier than adding 2 12 times. One of the field trips during third grade was walking to Miwok Park and learning about the Indian culture and items there. It was very interesting. One of the biggest projects and my favorite of the year was the animal report. We had to look up facts and behaviors and other things about a certain animal. I was assigned the elephant, and it was fun learning about such a gentle giant. In fourth grade, things got intense. There were times when I thought I would break down because I got worried about schoolwork, but out of the work came very good rewards. One of my favorite things so far that I've done in school was going to the Sonoma mission. It was so much fun dressing up for it and being able to make candles and help make lunch. I had a great time. Although there are those books that you read in school that are okay, but not your favorite, Island of the Blue Dolphins was a fantastic book. I completely love the survival part of it and how it all turned out to fit in with the Padres concept we were learning about. For the grand finale of the year, we got to go on a huge field trip to Sacramento where we visited all of the different museums. Fourth grade had its times for me when I became a little discouraged, but it was always made better with an interesting project or an engaging field trip. Fifth grade was amazing. Although there was work, it all seemed fun to do. For example, for the PowerPoint book report, we got to design cool and unique slideshows to show what our book was about. Then there was Colonial Williamsburg, one of the best projects ever. We got to dress up and act as 18th century folk. I had a wonderful time. And recently, I experienced the main attraction to fifth grade, Walker Creek. It was something I don't think I'll ever forget. We got to connect with nature while being in school. We shared cabins with our friends and made new ones as well. I had the time of my life. Fifth grade was a 5-star year. So my time at Pleasant Valley